Good day everyone and welcome to Group 5 presentation entitled Compensation. So before we start to an overview of compensation, let me introduce myself first. I am Melanie Quiapos, the leader of this group, and my group members are Bartolome Cristal Joy, Sarah Christine Joy, Obero Bernadette, Perado Jaime, and Obando John Patrick. So here's the objectives that we use for this discussion. Number 1, define compensation and differentiate among pay level and pay structure decisions. Number 2, analyze the strategic importance of human resource management activities performed in organizations. Number 3, explain how compensation systems influence employees' motivation, productivity, and satisfaction. Number 4, examine how external and internal factors relate to a firm's compensation policy. Number 5, discuss how pay surveys help managers create efficient and equitable pay systems. And lastly, describe the job evaluation process. So let us move on into the introduction to compensation. Generally, the term compensation refers to compensating any damages, loss, or mental harassments, wages or salaries as reward for physical and or mental efforts to perform any agreed task or job. But the concept of equity in remunerating any work or task has forced us to perceive wages and salaries as compensation because people work efficiently only when they are paid according to their worth or feel satisfied with the remunerations. Besides basic salaries or wages, companies are forced to view the benefits and services to justify the positional and esteem needs of employees and to provide adequate cushion for inflations. Through the cost of human resources is estimated at between 2% to 20% of the operating costs, depending upon the type of industry. To retain the employees or to avoid job hopping, some of the industries are even forced to adopt varying scales and benefits. Meaning to say, compensation is the remuneration or yung tinatawag nating kabayaran received by an employee in return for his or her contribution to the organization or company. It is an organized practice involving the provision of monetary and non-monetary benefits to employees. Employee compensation includes all forms of pay and rewards received by employees for the performance of their jobs. Direct compensation comprises of employee wages and salaries, incentives, bonuses, and commissions. Indirect compensation comprises the many benefits supplied by employers, and non-financial compensation includes employee recognition programs, rewarding jobs, and flexible work hours to accommodate personal needs. Otherwise, compensation is the human resource management function that deals with every type of reward individuals receive in exchange for performing organizational tasks. It is the major cause of doing businesses for many organizations of all types and sizes. It is the chief reason why most individuals seek employment. Typically, compensation refers to monetary payment given to an individual in exchange for their services. In the workplace, compensation is what is earned by employees. It includes salary or wages, in addition to commission and any incentives or perks that come with the given employee's position. Paid employees as well as outside or temporary consultants are entitled to compensation, meaning the individual will paid for the product or services they provide. A broader compensation definition includes monies owed as a recompense to an injured or otherwise wrong party by the party responsible. Compensation may also be used as a reward or for exceptional job performance. Example, such as plans includes bonuses, commissions, stock, profit sharing, and gain sharing. Example sa bonuses, 'di ba nangyayari siya sa worth or sa company, sa organization tuwing December, nagbabayad ang manager or yung management ng 13-month pay at iba pa yun sa bonuses, Christmas bonus. Yun yung example ng compensation. And another for example is yung sa commission. For example, sa recruitment and selection of the job or sa job analysis, kapag magre-recruit ka ng mga employee, may mga company or organization na nag-aalaw or nagbibigay sila ng commission fee para sa mga taong nagre-recruit or gumagawa ng job na ito, gumagawa ng task na ito. In compensation, we have two categories. Those are pay level and pay structure. So let us proceed to the difference between pay level and pay structure. In pay level, it is the fundamental unit in compensation structure of an organization, which is used to denote difference in compensation due to smallest possible change in job specification. Pay level generally rises along with the rise in hierarchy of an organization, while the pay structures, also called the salary structures, are organized levels or grades of employee salaries divided by job type. Pay structures typically incorporate salary ranges for each pay grade, meaning each pay grade is bracketed by a minimum and maximum salary amount. So, in pay level, the rate of pay for a given occupation or grade of job, pay levels can be expressed or, for example, hourly rates, weekly wages, or annual salaries, and are established through the process of pay determination. See grade, rate for the job, and salary. And the pay is determined by the level of job, accountability, responsibility, position, experience, etc. in the company. Sa pay structure naman, it is a system that defines what each individual and job role is paid based upon their value to the business and effectiveness in their role. For each type of pay structure, there are a variety of different methods for deciding upon and separating employee pay, each with its own advantages and disadvantages. In this guide, the pay data team explores each of the common types of a pay structure, explaining how they differ from one another and outlining when they might be most appropriate for your business. In pay structure, there are two central reasons why pay structures matter. The first is that businesses need to ensure they are consistently paying staff appropriately for what they do and what they are worth to the business. Each pay structure can take different factors into account to calculate appropriate pay rewards, from utilizing market averages to measuring performance within different functions of the business. The right choice for your business will depend largely on your sector and situation. Selecting the right pay structure that supports your culture and organizational model is incredibly important. The second reason is how pay impacts employees. Employee engagement and satisfaction is a challenging topic filled with fine nuances and details, but the payment and remuneration play a large part. All employees want a clear, understandable path to both career and pay progression. Define goals and the knowledge that achieving them will result in employees receiving monetary rewards for their efforts. Provide a framework for motivating the entire workforce. The presence of this clarity is a direct outcome of a business transparent pay structure.
Analyze the strategic importance of human resources management. Activities performed in organizations. Importance of strategic human resources management. It helps create a competitive advantage and helps people adapt to the organization's culture. Strategic human resources management is important in building a balanced workplace that allowed for changes. It also helps in the development of employee engagement. Strategic human resources management is essential for retaining the best talent and developing human resources. It focuses on making employees feel valued and engaged so that they are motivated to stay with the company. Is directly concerned with growing the business, adopting organization culture in line with today's workplace, and developing competitive advantage. Another importance of strategic human resources management. Businesses that ensure collaboration amongst all teams and synchronize working towards common objectives success faster. By applying strategic human resources, employees can be analyzed in the actions that will lead to value addition for the company can be identified. If a company human resource personnel don't know much about strategic human resources management, they can enroll for human resources courses online to understand the concepts thoroughly and implement the same in the organizations. There are various benefits of applying strategic human resources management for any businesses. These include increased job satisfaction, better work culture, improved rates of customer satisfaction, efficient resource management, a proactive approach to managing employees, and productivity bots. How does SHRM work? Strategic human resources management is essential for retaining the best talent and developing human resources. It focuses on making employees feel valued and engaged so that they are motivated to stay with the company. However, before moving forward, you will need to create a strategic human resources planning process following these steps. Cultivate an deep understanding of the organization objectives. Assess the capabilities of a HR team. Analyze the exciting HR strength in view of your objectives. Assess the HR needs for the business as it grows. Find out what technology or resources employee need to perform well. Deploy the human resources management strategy devised on basis of above evaluation. And last, check for effectiveness and take corrective action wherever needed.
Compensation systems influence employees' motivation, productivity, and satisfaction. Compensation is an important tool in human resources. An effective compensation system designed significantly influences organizational development by revealing external competitiveness, internal equity, and individual equity. So, compensation is very important to an organization, especially to every employees. So, ang epekto ng pagkakaroon ng effective compensation system design is to reveal the external competitiveness of each organization and its internal and individual equity. So, what is an external competitiveness, internal and individual equity? So, an external competitiveness is the pay offered by a company relative to the pay offered by its direct competitors in the market. So, basically, it talks about compensation wherein magbe-base dito how well a company compensate its employee compared to other company, its competitors. When it comes to internal equity naman, it talks about the employees receiving similar or fair compensation depending on their position, while individual equity refers to as a reward to an employee based on his or her value that the individual employee bring to the company. It is basically a reward depende sa kanilang nagawa sa isang company, unlike sa internal equity na fair ang mga natatanggap na compensation ng bawat employee na same ang position sa company. High compensation provides employees with a sense of satisfaction from their job and incentivizes them to perform better, especially when compensation is directly related to the job performance. On the contrary, studies have also shown that low compensation hinders employee motivation and performance. High compensation will always be a motivation or encouragement towards employee. Ito ang makapagbibigay sa kanila ng satisfaction pagdating sa kanilang mga trabaho. For example, meron sa ating nag-work sa isang big company and nakakatanggap tayo ng malaking sahod and with incentives pa. So, sino ba naman hindi maiinganyo na magtrabaho ng alam mong meron kang malaking sahod and meron ka ding incentives, and it increases the job productivity of every employees. Meron rin yung ibang company na mababa magpasahod and alam mong minsan lang makatanggap yung mga empleyado ng incentives, and aware naman tayo sa mga ganong company and nababalitaan din natin, maybe some of us nababalitaan natin na may mga empleyado talaga na hindi ganun ka-productive sa kanilang trabaho kasi mababa yung pasahod and minsan iniisip nila na hindi fair ang pasahod sa isang company or dun mismo sa pinagtatrabahuan nila. Ayan, malaki talaga ang impluwensya ng compensation system sa productivity, motivation, and satisfaction ng isang employee. Once na alam nilang fair ang compensation na binibigay, surely mag-i-stay and mas mag-excel ang mga empleyado na meron ng isang company. But when they feel and know na hindi fair ang compensation system ng isang company, hindi lang ang empleyado ang maapektuhan, pati ang company na rin. Effective compensation system influence every employees to be more productive and motivated and yet to be satisfied. Once na na-reveal ang individual equity ng bawat employees, they will think that their hard work will always be deserving to be rewarded. So, like us as a student, yung mga nag-e-excel sa klase, andun yung mga mindset ng bawat student na deserve ko ng mataas na grade kasi active ako sa recitation, matataas si scores ko, and so on. And once na nakita ito ng mga teachers, nakita nilang activeness mo, dedication, and hard work sa kanilang klase, ayan, bibigyan at bibigyan ka ng reward. And same with sa isang company. Once na nakita ng boss mo ang determination and hard work sa'yo, bibigyan at bibigyan ka ng reward. And sometimes, incentives, hindi lang naka-base sa pagbibigay ng money, hindi lang about sa money. And some company will, offer or give grocery tickets, parties, and sa iba naman, promotion, 'di ba? Promotion ng isang empleyado. Once na nakita nila ang hard work mo and deserving ka sa isang position, ipropromote at ipropromote ka. And yan ang pinakamagandang reward na matatanggap mo sa isang company. Kasi once na na-promote ka, di ba, lalaki at lalaki yung sahod na matatanggap mo, and at the same time, may inspire and motivate din ng ibang empleyado na gawin or give their best sa pagtatrabaho para makatanggap din ng reward ng katulad ng sayo, syempre. Kaya malaki ang impluwensya ng isang compensation system sa productivity and satisfaction ng isang empleyado or ng bawat empleyado, lalo na pag yung compensation system ng isang company ay best among the rest.
External and internal factors relate to a firm's compensation policy. External factors. These factors are as follows. Labor market. The demand for a supply of labor also influences the employee compensation. The low wage is given in case the demand is less than the supply of labor. On the other hand, high pay is fixed in case the demand is more than the supply labor. The labor market is the place where workers and employees interact with each other. In the labor market, employers compete to hire the best, and the workers compete for the best satisfying job. A labor market in an economy factors with demand and supply of labor. There are 10 external factors affecting employee compensation. 1. Demand and supply of labor are determined in the labor market. The participants in the labor market are workers and firms. Workers supply labor to firms in exchange for wages. Firms demand labor from workers in exchange for wages. 2. Cost of living is the amount a person needs to spend to cover basic expenses such as housing, food, taxes, and healthcare in a particular place. 3. Economic conditions are a major external factor that are pretty much outside of the control of HRM but which can have a huge impact on the company. 4. Prevailing wages level is the typical benefits, hourly wages and amount of overtime paid that can be obtained by certain sets of workers in certain areas across the country. 5. Society. 6. Government control. The power or authority of government to regulate or command industry, organization, programs, initiatives, and individuals. 7. Labor union is an organization of workers that represents the collective interest of its members in dealing with employers. 8. Legislation. 9. Globalization. It means devising innovative evaluation measures to keep employees focused and motivated. 10. Cross-sector mobility. Internal factors affecting compensation may include companies' profitability. When an employer is safely operating in the black, it may revisit its compensation structure and modify salaries so they are more competitive with other employers in the industry. There are 5 internal factors affecting employee compensation. 1. Compensation policy of the organization. 2. Employers' affordability. 3. Worth of a job. 4. Employees' worth. And 5. The organizational ability to pay. 6. Job analysis and job description.
Pay surveys help managers create efficient and equitable pay systems. When creating a base pay structure from scratch or revising an existing structure to meet changing needs, such a project can seem challenging at best. The compensation system development process, however, does not have to be an overwhelming and dreaded goal. Building a market-based pay structure from scratch encompasses the following steps: gathering the background information needed for project success, determining the source of external market data and getting the data ready, conducting the market data analysis, developing the pay structures, calculating the cost of the pay structures, implementing and evaluating the new pay structures. Pay surveys help managers create efficient and equitable pay system. This toolkit walks through each of these major steps to help novices successfully develop a complete pay structure from scratch. Those seasoned in compensation will find the article helpful in keeping their compensation skills current in today's volatile compensation markets. How do you create an equitable compensation system? Create an equitable compensation program. Step 1. Design an exclusive total reward strategy. Step 2. Build salary bands. Step 3. Eliminate salary negotiations. Step 4. Create a rubric and clear timeline for managing performance. Step 5. Insert a system of check and balances.
Job evaluation process. Job evaluation is the systematic process of determining the relative value of different jobs in an organization. The goal of job evaluation is to compare jobs with each other in order to create a pay structure that is fair, equitable, and consistent for everyone. Job evaluation is the process of comparing a job against other jobs within the organization to determine the appropriate pay rate. Job evaluation process. In general, evaluation processes go through 4 distinct phases: the planning, implementation, completion, and reporting. The number one phase is the planning. The most important considerations during the planning phase of your project evaluation are prioritizing short and long-term goals, identifying your target audience, determining methods for collecting data, and assessing the feasibility of each for your target audience. A job evaluation plan is also a tool that helps startups determine the internal value of a job in order to assign the appropriate salary level. The job evaluation plan defines the compensable factors used to assess the relativity of jobs within an organization. The number 2 phase is the implementation. This is the carry out of your evaluation plan. Although it may vary considerably from project to project, you will likely concentrate on formative and process evaluation strategies at this point in your efforts. Under the implementation process, for assessing and comparing the value of different jobs is vital to achieving equal pay. It is one of the most important tools to help you make sure you are acting lawfully. Without one, you might be at risk of unequal pay claim. Job evaluation schemes. Number 1. Provide a basis for a grading and pay structure. Number 2. Provide a means to check and demonstrate you are providing equal pay for equal work. Number 3. Evaluate the job, not the job holder. Number 4. Provide a way of assessing the demands of a job that is as objective as possible. Number 5. Having this information can be crucial if you need to defend your pay system against an equal pay claim. The number 3 phase is the completion. Upon completion or your program or the intermediate steps along the way, your evaluation efforts will be designed to examine long-term outcomes and impacts and summarize the overall performance of your program. Completion of the evaluation process means that the government entity has completed negotiating the contract with the selected proposer. The number 4 phase is the reporting and communication. In order to tell your story effectively, it's critical for you to consider what you want to communicate about the results or processes of your project. What audiences are most important to communicate with, and what are the most appropriate methods for disseminating your information. Under the job evaluation process, number 4 phase, good communication in the workplace ensures employees have the information they need to perform well, builds a positive work environment, and eliminates inefficiencies. Effective communication should acquired convey information while maintaining or improving human relationships. Job evaluation process 4 steps. Phase 1. Planning and diagnosis. Conduct initial workshops. Review approaches to job evaluation. Identify benchmark jobs. Plan data collection. Initial communication. Phase 2. Design and development. Design workshops on pay management and role evaluation system design. Define evaluation elements levels. Collect, analyze role data. Reference ranking. Phase 3. Validation and modeling. Test, audit, evaluation results. Develop weightings and initial rank order of jobs. Develop grade structure and fit benchmark jobs to structure. Develop guidelines for matching non-benchmark jobs. Model proposed pay management process with employees. Phase 4. Communication and rollout. Develop implementation and appeals processes. Prepare individual letters and team briefings to explain change to grade structure and pay management process.